welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be sharing our thoughts or answering questions about relationships from a single parent's point of view, and then
not single parent, so married parent point of view.
yes.
So the first question I'm gonna ask you is, what has this experience taught you as a single mom?
I feel like one of the main things that it has taught me is to not let my happiness depend on another person. Also gained the freedom to make life-changing decisions according to what I think is correct or right at the moment for my children and myself. So if I were to put everything in a nutshell, I would say it has taught me a lot of independence, self-growth, and also the ability to be able to focus on my career and my financial stability.
Okay, so for me, what the experience of being in a relationship has taught me is the importance of a solid foundation, so that whenever obstacles come your way, you're able to overcome them. And basically, it has taught me to be more graceful towards him and his needs. Just like, it comes back. I feel like if we're both understanding and communicating our needs, then we're able to thrive in the relationship, and I don't know, just make it work and
maintain a healthy relationship.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Next. What is the work/life balance for you, that you work and also have your kids? So how do you make that work?
So I feel like for the longest time I did struggle with this, just because I don't have anyone to share those responsibilities with.
Okay.
So I basically have the role from of a father and a mother. So the way that I manage, or I recently started to manage, because it did take me several years to get to the point, is to first find, this is gonna sound like a little, but it was to find a job that matches my children's schedule. So that was number one for me, just because obviously I don't have that extra help or that extra support system to be able to take care of my kids while I work. I'm definitely completely on my own. So I had to adjust to their schedule, which was very difficult, just because not every job gives you that flexibility and that opportunity to do that. So once I got that job, I have a little bit more time with them. What I try to do is wake up at least an hour or two before my children, just that I can have that morning to myself, and then I'll do like a little at-home workout, my skincare, whatever it is that I need to do. I'll shower, get ready for the day, and then once I'm completely done with myself, then I'll get them ready, wake them up, and then that ensures that I did my part and took care of myself before taking care of another person.
Take care of yourself, then you can take care of others. But if your cup is empty, like they say, then there's nothing. Exactly.
Yeah. So just little habits and little things like that, and then in the afternoon, I have that flexibility of picking them up after school, taking them to any sports or school activities that they might have, and just taking it day by day.
Okay, that sounds good. For me, I feel like, since like I said, I couldn't work because that was like not an option, I feel like it was easier for me to just stay at home with the kids, and then he would be the one to take over and work full time, which I appreciate so much, because it gave me the time to be able to stay with my kids, teach them whatever it is that I want to teach them, or spend time with them however I can and want. But it's also difficult to manage time, like your alone time, while you're having them, because it's not like you get to
that
yes
time.
Of course, it's not like you get to, okay, here you go, somebody take care of them, and then I have my alone time. I have to kind of like work around it, like a lot of stay-at-home moms, like basically the times that they're taking a nap or little things, or they're on their own just watching some TV or something that they're doing, that they feel like that you feel like you can have that little time for yourself to do something, as like you said, like workout or something simple like meditation. I feel like that helps out, and also gives you that time to think about yourself and what it is that you enjoy doing on your spare time. because when you don't work, it is nice because you get to have that time with your kids, but at the same time sometimes you feel like your career lost. Like, what is your purpose other than like taking care of your kids, which is the main purpose? But
and I feel like I can also in a way relate to that, because I've been a stay-at-home mom, you know, when I was with my father's children, my children's father. I was a stay-at-home mom as well, and I got to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm just in survival mode 24/7. Like, what am I? Who am I? Why am I here?
Exactly.
Like, what's going on? Like, you know, I need a breather.
I feel like the important thing is having a partner that understands that and gives you a chance to, when you need it, like, you know what, you need to take a break, you need to have a little, you know, I don't know, take some more time to take a shower, do your hair, or do something that makes you happy.
Oh my gosh.
Like, thank you. Okay, like, I appreciate you. And a partner that gives you that space and understanding.
Yeah.
And also when they appreciate you and they let you know, like, you know what, like, you're doing a good job, because as moms, like, they don't tell you that much. Like, other people like encouraging you that you're doing great and
reminding you that affirmation of like, hey, I know, because a lot of the times, you know, we might be doing our thing, whatever, and when we don't have enough time to find ourselves after having children, it could be very overwhelming for us, and it could be we can get to a very low point. And so if we don't have like someone acknowledging, and acknowledging what you're doing for your children, and that everything's gonna be okay, and that this is just temporary, it's just a phase, they're gonna grow, they're gonna be independent. If you don't have anyone to remind you of those things, like you could be very affected by that. So
I think so. And people, like, I feel like friends also, like you, the way that we are with each other is that our kids are together, the dynamic, I like it because it feels like they're not just like, oh, you're looking out for your kids, I'm looking out for my kids. I feel like we try to
take care of everybody.
Yes,
everyone's
like,
kids.
Take care of everyone. Kind of like, I don't know, like a team.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're supporting each other. And I don't know, it just takes all that pressure off. Like, oh, it's just on me and it's just on you. Like, for you, I feel like you have that more, because it's like you don't get to have that partner whenever you're, you know, in the house with the kids that takes over for like whatever it is that you need. So how do you do with that? Or do you feel like it's gotten a little better since they've grown?
So when I became a single mother, my children were not, well, yeah, they were like a couple months old. I would say my youngest was a couple of weeks. No, I'm gonna say about a month. So it was challenging because I had to face, you know, that baby stage and then toddler stage. Now they're infants, but you know, that toddler stage is terrible. Twos and everything is like, oh my gosh. But during that time, although I was a single mother, I was also a stay-at-home mom, because my mother gave me that opportunity and that privilege that was not, you know, she did not have to do that, but thank God she did. And I'm so grateful for her because of that. For me to be able to stay at home for those years. So I was like you, kind of. I was just like, it is great and it's wonderful and everything. It's a blessing, but it's like, oh my gosh, you feel lost.
It's overwhelming. Just like the other, I feel like both
just because I feel like
are overwhelming in their own way.
Oh yeah, and because you don't have that like time,
like a schedule type. Like it's just all over the place.
When you go to work, like you know that during work you're just working, you're not taking care of your children. So you have that separation of like, okay, in a way this is my own time, although I'm still working. And then you know that you have a set schedule, because once you get out of work, then you got to shower, do homework, whatever it is.
But when you're a stay-at-home mom, you have to cook, clean, have the kids all over the place, and it's all over the place. So yeah, I feel like that is true.
Yeah.
And it's like a balance that you have to make, and kind of like just try to make a schedule that, or a routine that works for you.
So how do you balance your relationship with your kids and your relationship with your partner?
I feel like that's a big one.
That separation.
Yes, I feel like we kind of have to, I feel like it's about that balance. I feel like to be able to have quality time with the kids while my partner is at work, and then whenever he comes home is managing that time around with him, the kids, like us as a family, but also whenever they go to sleep, then we try to have that alone time.
What is that?
You know, I don't know if it means watching a show or just simple things. And sometimes it's not easy to
So do you
have
guys,
that alone time, but
do you guys
some days
do,
are
like,
better than
date
others.
nights? I feel like that would help. I've seen.
We do have date nights, but it's like it's not something that's like so common. Like it doesn't happen so.
It's like whenever you have a chance or whenever you have that opportunity open to you, then you'll take advantage of it. But it's not a very planned out thing where you do it every week or.
Yes, because it's like you said, like it takes a village to, you know, raise kids and all feel like everyone's needs are being met. And so sometimes it doesn't feel like we're able to do it because we don't have that person to leave the kids with and just do our thing. So, and also because when you're a stay-at-home mom and you're with your kids for the, like most of the time, I feel like you get so attached that leaving them, it's like worrying. Like, I don't know, like for example, like I still have a toddler, so it's not like they're not grown. Okay, so one more question for you, Jay.
Okay.
So what advice would you give to single parents like you, like out there?
Okay, so I feel like an advice that I would give them is that although it might be a scary process to transition into being a single parent, and it also is a challenge, it does get better. And not only, I feel like a lot of us, and this is something that I applied to my life recently, is to enjoy the process, which we forget.
I like that.
You know, we
It's being
worry about
present, too.
exactly. We worry so much about like, oh my gosh, he broke up with me, I'm heartbroken, I'm going through this, me. But it's like you're not enjoying the process.
Not living.
Yeah, so you're not being present for your children. Now you have to be
Wow.
as double, you know, you have to be strong enough to, you know, be there for your children and to remind them
And
how
for
much
yourself.
they're loved. Yeah. So it's like just enjoy the process. Enjoy the new journey, and it does get better. And just enjoy your children, learn them, learn about yourself. Take this as an opportunity to rediscover yourself and to grow. Yeah.
I like that.
So to wrap it up, what would be your advice to a parent that is co-parenting or that is in a relationship?
Okay, so from my side, I would say my advice to parents that are, you know, together with kids growing up still little is to definitely not to focus on the partner's faults, but to focus on the good side, the positives that they do for you. Because I feel like a lot of times you can focus on what people do wrong and what you're not happy about, but you don't focus on the good things that people are doing for you or appreciate the small things, because that leads to for you to just build a more positive environment with your kids, with your partner, and they get to see that example that you're being appreciative of your partner, even if they're not perfect, because you're not perfect. You know, we all have faults and flaws, but just being grateful for the person that you are with. But for me, I feel like definitely focusing on the positive side and what they do that makes you happy, and then the other person is gonna do the same thing, and then it's gonna keep coming back, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say.
So this is it for this video. We can actually go in depth more about like this topic or like relationships or love or whatever it is. So we might try to do that in the future. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and
I feel like
see you
on the next video.
on the next one.